What's happening? Ooh, a little Ritas. I love Ritas. That's my jam. What's happening, brother?
Not too much. How are you?
Doing good. We did it. We got some wonder.
What do you have right in front of you? I'm more curious about, really, honestly, I'm more curious, I think, about the food than I am the stickers, but I know you get some cool stickers along with that too. So show us what you got.
I felt like it was a necessary thing. I felt like we had to, figure this out. Let's make sure that we can do this. Oh, we're just going down. But yeah, we got some wonder. What did I see? So first of all, what's really cool is I know that for us, when you hop on the Wonder app here in New York, I got a text right away. Obviously, they're sharing information, but I got a text right away from the food bank in New York. So there is some sort of integration or partnership or something that's kind of going on there. And then what I also saw is that you can, be part of their monthly, subscription program. And their monthly subscription program, I think that you can, save some money on some of these orders. But the meals themselves, tell me, like, what's a meal that you would order for your kids? Like, what's like a price for you guys?
A price? Ooh,
Yeah.
That's a great question. I've thought about it in terms of price, but I've never put like a dollar amount on it. I've always found it much easier just to order what I want, and my wife, for her to order what she wants, and for our kids to kind of nibble off of those things and to kind of take them into consideration. Sometimes my kids are snackers, so when it's dinner time, they might not necessarily be hungry, but an hour afterwards, they're like, "Hey, I'm hungry." So
I totally agree with that. And I'm sure as kids get older, it's going to be like a different story. But, right now we're kind of the same way. It's not like the kids are eating that much, but the meals here, they really range from basically like $10 to $12. And then you had, at least here in New York, there's a delivery fee, and then there's going to be just some like tax and all that kind of stuff too. So I think this order for 2 kids meals was like 35-ish bucks, kind of around there. So I mean, it could get kind of pricey if you're looking to get 2 stickers, but overall, you had I think there were like 4 options for food. There was like, I think there was like a Caesar salad, there's a cheeseburger, and then a hamburger, and then you had some like chicken fingers for the kids, and then you could get the sides. You can get like a veggie or fries or whatever's, and you get a drink too. So all those things together. But that's what we did. We got the Wonder app. I thought it was kind of interesting to kind of try it out. So we'll see. Pretty quick, pretty easy.
What did you order?
Well, I mean, I'm here. I'm not leaving this location until like 6 o'clock tonight. So obviously, whatever I ordered is not really getting to my kids because I'm going to ride my bike back to Brooklyn, which is going to be kind of far. So I got whatever, maybe I can kind of pull back home, but I just got a burger, not a cheeseburger. I just got some chicken fingers. It was whatever. So I just ordered whatever good. But overall, I thought it was I like this partnership. It's food. How can I not? I like it. And yeah, that's what I got. So not bad.
I love it.
But yeah, let's check it out. What we got here? So we got these. I saw some people posting these already, right? So it looks like in these little things, got 2. I better have 2. I only see 1 right now, though. All right, so this is the first issue. I only see 1 sticker. Are you supposed to get like 1 per order? Or are you supposed to get like 1 per food order? That I don't know.
You know
so
what?
Now
it was not in New York or not in Arizona. I kind of like tapped out of understanding more about it. So
yeah, I get that. I do. I get it. Now I'm not missing something, right? So I have 1. So I don't know. Hey, V friends, is there any chance that I'm an idiot and I'm missing 1, or are we supposed to get 1 per food order? I'm assuming it was because like if you have kids, you're obviously not going to just want 1. They're going to get upset, right?
Yeah, Dom,
I don't see 1 in here.
I think it was 1 per kid's meal. That sounds right.
So I only got 1 in the bag. I got 2 kids meals, 2 combos, right? That's what you had to order. And then I only got 1. So what's up?
Is there by any chance there's 2 inside of that bag? I know that sounds kind of crazy.
Good point, but I feel like they probably wouldn't do it that way. Let's see. Nope, just one. We'll check it out. We'll see what's going on. But then again, I did just spend like $15 on a meal to only get one of these. Well, I guess a 30 something, but whatever. Okay, that's where we're at right now. That's cool. It looks interesting. We got this little sticker right here. We'll get that. And then what's this thing? What do you think this is, Bri? Oh, it's like a little game. Oh, cool. Look,
Tic-tac-toe. Yeah.
But that's awesome. Cool. We see that. Good stuff. All right. That's what we have. And then we got, it doesn't really matter. We just got a burger, regular kind of burger going on over here. Brioche bun, a little bit of burger. It's all dry. I'm not like a cheese guy. Like I'll do mustard, but I'm not going to do cheese. So that's that. We got I did some broccoli and I got some carrot sticks. Probably what we would have assumed, but I only got one. And we got some waters. So I need some water anyway. So it's all good.
I love it. I love it.
Yeah. I'll open it up. One randomly inserted prism foil sticker. I'm not a sticker collector. Not a sticker collector. Are you, Bri?
I'm not. I've got 2 stickers, and they were both gifts from other people. So I'm not a sticker person. I'm slowly looking into pins, but no.
I like pins. Pins I like. I feel like there's a weight to it. It's good. What do I got? I see a purple back. So does that mean that it's maybe something? What we got here? Oh, Dialed in Dog. All right.
Very
Nice.
nice.
That a good one? Are these? They're not numbered. Not numbered. Check us out on YouTube. So it's promoting the show. vfriends.com/book. I'm guessing that's Meet Me in the Middle, right? Are these stickers? They are, right? Yeah. Okay, so they come off. All right, that's what we got. Dialed in Dog. Where are we at, Biceps? Is this you? Right? Isn't Biceps Dialed in Dog? I think he is. Nice.
Yeah, the rare one is the Persian. The rare one's the Persian, and anything gold. That's right.
All right. I don't have any of that, and I only got one. That's okay. I don't need more. Sorry. Anyway, what's that?
I kind of like them. I think they're neat. They're smaller than the bigger super stickers. I think kids are going to get more access to them. I see us having a bunch of them around, kind of like the minis, where you can throw together in little grab bags for the kids, and the kids can throw them on their books or their bags, and you kind of don't really worry about it. You know, if they threw a super sticker on there, you might start having like, all right, which one was that? You know, you don't want to be putting a Viper on there or something silly, but
I was definitely thinking that if kids get these directly, that there's just not going to be as much of a supply. These things are going to just be done. Because if I was a kid, I'd be sticking this on whatever I have, right? And I think that's kind of what they want anyway. So that's definitely good. What's up, B Miller? We got B Miller. We got Dom in here too. I missed the whole collab information. I have been working all day. Did not read a blogger post yet. Well, this is it. There's a select locations: New York, New Jersey, somewhere else. I think in Pennsylvania. There is a collab with Wonder. Wonder is it's like a new delivery kind of service. I think it's like you basically order all your food directly through one location, but like in that one location, you basically have these different restaurants kind of within there. I'm sure there's some pretty cool operation that happens within it. But that is you can order some kids meals. You have to get a combo, and meals are about like $10 to $12. Comes with a sticker here and a little game, I guess. But yeah, I think it's a cool collab. I like it. If kids need it. So there we go. Nice.
I think it's a great idea because, again, kids, we are as parents looking always to try to figure out what the kids will eat. And sometimes it does become difficult. So if the kids do grab onto something, I will have a tendency to go after that. Like, my kids really, really love the Panera macaroni and cheese.
Oh, yeah?
So whenever I go to Safeway, I can see the Panera, or Costco, they'll have this big double pack of Panera macaroni and cheese. And I'll have a tendency to pick that up. It costs a little bit more than a regular mac and cheese, but they enjoy it. I don't have to argue or get in, complex, conversations about what they need to have or what they need to eat, or this is what I'm cooking for dinner. So I can literally just microwave that. I can throw in some meat in there too, some ground beef, and they're happy, and I'm happy, and we kind of move on from there. So
What when you how what food and your kids, right? So I've definitely been posting some things on X to get a little bit of a, I think not attention, whatever I can kind of call it, but definitely posting on X to kind of get some feedback and just asking questions. I think it can be annoying for some people, but it's definitely something that I wanted to just see. Like, I think the big question for me is like, what are we defining as healthy? And it's just interesting to kind of see where people kind of go with it. There's, I definitely have some thoughts on kind of what is considered healthy. And, um, you know, long story short, with all that, it's like, it's going to depend on the person, right? That's just what's going to happen. But I think that you hear certain things and, without naming, I guess, handles and stuff like that, you have a bunch of people that are naming healthy as something that like you grow all of your food in your garden. Or, someone said healthy is, only eating food that the sun has touched. And I'm like, okay, that's interesting. And then it's like, healthy is only going to be something that is like unprocessed. And it's not wrong, right? I would say, but I think that it's, to me, I think when I hear the word healthy or balance or individualized, like I like all those things, but I think that it's like it doesn't really, like, what does that mean now? Like, what does it actually mean to be healthy? So when you were talking about your kids and eating the Panera macaroni and cheese, I mean, like, how are you how are you talking to your kids about healthy?
well, it's finding things that they'll latch onto and eat first off. That's the number one
Totally.
priority as a parent, is trying to figure out, okay, out of all these food groups and all these things, what will they latch onto consistently, and what can I start to,
Yeah.
what kind of creativity can I get within that? Can you ask that question one more time? This I got distracted by this grape. It's really delicious.
That's awesome. It's just kind of like how do you define healthy has like been the question that I've kind of been trying to ask people and kind of get a sense of, especially like as we talk through it. I mean, this partnership here with with Wonder, right? I've seen it before. I didn't know what it was. Now I know what it was. So hey, congratulations on getting that marketing done. But the side of healthy, I mean, I like what you just said. It's like, first of all, we have to know what the kids are going to eat. And obviously, like my kids, they might not choose something that would be considered healthy by someone else. Or, this Wonder thing. I have a burger. Who knows where the meat came from? We have a brioche bun. We have some chicken fingers over here. I got
Right.
some celery and carrot sticks. And then what was the other thing I got? It was like broccoli. And then I got like two waters. Is that healthy? I don't know. And so, where do we go with that? Like, what does that actually mean? It has to be like the best kind of kid is a fed kid, right? A kid that's going to eat something. And so like someone might be like, well, these chicken fingers are ridiculous because who knows where the breading came from. I was like, I don't care. My kid needs something. And you know what? There's protein in there. And I need to make sure that they're going to eat that versus something else. So
Right. Right.
I always get so curious, like how someone's defining it.
It's a
Um,
balance. It is a balance in terms of figuring out again what your kids are wanting to eat onto, and as a parent, knowing a little bit more about foods. And like you said, hey, my goal is, the dad is trying to get more protein in my kids. That's the big one for me too. That's why I say, hey, if you're gonna eat macaroni and cheese, cool. I'm gonna throw in a little bit of ground beef in there. You won't even know it's gonna be covered up in the same cheese, and you eat it all up, and it's really really delicious. And so they're happy. I'm happy. Um, but yeah, how do we start teaching these kids about health and food? I think the more they start to touch it, play with it, like you're really good at this with your kids, is in terms of getting them in the kitchen and touching food, and getting them to cut stuff up and preparing things, and whether it's breakfast and making something like some sort of pancakes and having fun with it, or at nighttime you guys are having creativities, just whatever. It gets them touching food. It gets them understanding where it came from. It allows you to have more of those conversations about health or why we eat certain things. And realistically, if the kid eats, I'm pretty happy to start off with. And then from there, throughout the day, it's about me getting a balance for them. So if they're like sugar, 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 something's wrong. right? Um, as a parent, that's really the biggest thing for me that I'm trying to get them away from is this unnecessary type of sugar that they're getting fed constantly, whether it's from other friends at school or if it's from their teachers as a reward system or if it's
Hmm.
from the grandparents going out and hanging out with them, right? It's very easy for people to throw their little things out and what's considered healthy or, oh, it's okay, it's just a birthday. So, yeah, it becomes very, very difficult and you have to manage it to the best of our extent. And yeah, I always try to pick one battle. Mine's sugar. Mine's sugar. I dislike sugar after my brother battled with cancer and losing his life. I understood more about how sugar and the effects that it plays on our body.
Yeah.
And so to me, that was just kind of like, cool, let's limit that one. Not that I'm going to also go out and go get cotton candy. Last time we went to a baseball game, my boy and I had a big bag of cotton candy and we finished it. But that's probably once every couple months that we would do something that silly.
Yeah. Um, I think especially when we hit some of those moments, especially with family, when they get sick in some sort of way. I mean, someone losing their life puts, I think, so many things in perspective. I know it's a big part of just your story right now, who you are, what's actually going on. And I even see this with a group of people within my within my world right now. There's some people have been diagnosed with diabetes, where previously I think people would look at me and be like, look at this guy, he's just he's not eating that much, or like he's not part of us, he's not eating like us. And then so it's something where it's like all of a sudden, okay, well, you're diagnosed with diabetes. Oh, you just got diagnosed with diabetes. Oh, now you guys want to eat healthier because you weren't thinking about it before. I'm not here to tell you just to make you feel bad about it, but it's definitely something where, I think that we have to make sure that we're doing everything we can for ourselves. And I think teaching our kids is good. I wanted to share something actually. Is this going to share my whole screen? Not really what I wanted to do, but it's okay. How do I do this?
While you're
This
figuring that out,
is,
I like to think that the kids are going to follow us parents. They watch. They watch us. They mimic us all the time. They say what we say. They do what we do. If anybody was in my live stream this morning, I say interrupted. My daughter woke up at like 6:05, 6:10, and walked in
yeah,
here at the beginning of my workout. But then at the end of it, she was doing a bench press with her weights on the bench because
yeah,
dad was doing that. So sorry,
that's
that was a
awesome.
side talk. Get on this. How does your belly feel? Ooh, I like this one.
No, it is, can I do this? Isn't there a button for me to do this? But like, we're talking about like how to feed our kids right now.
Mm-hmm.
And I think we can definitely talk about so many different like great things that are going on about like what they can eat. I honestly think this is the number one spot that we can start for so many people. And I also love we're doing Wonder Bellies, and so let's ask kids how their belly feels. Do you know how many times I've sent this to adults? Like my clients, I'm like, I just want you to know, I'm going to send you something right now, but like I teach my kids this. It's like the most juvenile thing if you want to think of it. But like I love teaching my kids about, protein. Like recently my wife said that she was picking up my daughter from school and she like heard a part of a conversation that she was having with someone else, like one of her friends. And she goes, yeah, but protein, I mean, rice doesn't even have any protein. And my wife was like, definitely your daughter. But I don't really care so much about that, but I do care about how she knows how food makes her feel. And
Mm-hmm.
so to me, I always want to make sure that she's understanding, how does something make you feel? Like being kind of aware of like what's in your stomach and like how much you've eaten, right? And there's no portion size or food that's wrong at this moment, but it's all about making sure like how does your belly feel? Like, hey, you said you're done with dinner. How does your belly feel? You want to eat dinner right now, or you want a snack or whatever. And I love talking to my kids about like how does your belly feel, and they'll definitely represent like these balloons represent their stomach, and I'll end up saying like is it a yellow or is it a green? But I think the most important thing is like my youngest daughter goes, it's blue, it's always blue, right? And I'm like, okay, that's great, it's blue, but how does that make you feel? And so I always ask her to kind of like tell me down here like the blue doesn't represent this, right? And the green, not this. Like they are separate. So it's like, tell me what balloon you are. How does your stomach feel? And then tell me right here, like, how does it make you feel? Because if you are a 5, you could be extremely happy over here, right? You could be a 5 and not feel so great either. Same thing with a 1. You might be a 1 and feel good. I'm not here to tell you it's right or wrong. But I think that when I'm definitely helping my kids out and understand how food makes them feel, I love starting here, and then I can let them know certain things. Well, you know what, higher protein, or this vegetable, or drinking your water, or any of these things can kind of be different. So I always think, like, if I'm talking to my kids about like what healthy is, like I'm always going to start here first, which I think we kind of miss. I don't know, did anyone when you were younger talk to you about this kind of stuff?
Um, that's kind of what I was sitting here thinking of, like how I was taught and how I was learned, and I'm kind of sitting here going, well, I have a pretty good understanding of nutrition and food and how it works with me, and how I'm trying to teach some of those things to my kids. But how was I taught? I always had a difficult relationship with food growing up because I was allergic to everything. I
Mm,
was I was the kid that went to the doctor's office 3 times a week and got 3 shots for being
yeah.
allergic to eggs and dairy and wheat. So I mean, you can imagine a 5-year-old, 6-year-old, 7-year-old kid who's not allowed to have anything with milk, dairy, cheese. That's like pizzas, like ice creams when you're going to parties and stuff like that. The wheat, bread, anything with bread. So sandwiches, lunches, and stuff like that, where everybody else is having peanut butter and jelly lunches and whatnot. I'd be having like flat bread and butter. And so I kind of grew up hating food because it always made me clogged up and I couldn't breathe. And so I always had this weird reliance of my mom. My mom always, they protected me and saved me, and my body grow because I was really a sick kid a lot. And
Really? Okay.
the foods that she gave me kept me healthy, I think. I think they boosted my immune system, and she was the one that had control over certain foods. So my dad was the opposite. He liked to go out to do McDonald's and fast foods, and that was his love language. My mom was making wholesome foods at home, and as I started getting older, she started narrowing down her foods because of the health issues. So I grew up understanding how this exact thing that you're talking about, the relationship not only with how much food is being in my stomach and how it made me feel, but understanding what actually food I put in my body relative, regardless of how much, and how that made me feel. Um, so at a young age, I kind of strayed away from certain things, and then it got me in trouble because I couldn't have it. I wanted a lot of it. And those
Yeah.
were things like candy and things that I could get away with eating a lot more of and not feeling the dramatic clogginess in the head or not being able to breathe through my nose. And, I mean, I still get it to the day. You can still see I have these dark circles under my eyes, and that's just from food, whether it's bread, eggs, I eat every single day. I just now eat it and I kind of work through it. And, it is what it is. So, yeah, I've always had a weird structure of learning food that way. But later on, I used food as fuel, and I had a better relationship with it when I had a trainer, and he started going, "Okay, well, Brian, you're really skinny. You're 6'2", and you weigh like 150 pounds. Like, we need to put some muscle on you if you want to go continue to play sports and basketball. And that is your thing." And so I
Yeah.
got on. I got on like a weight training program and a conditioning program, and he basically just made me eat and eat and eat and eat.
Yeah.
And like
Yeah.
we've had this conversation, if you're eating relatively clean food, to get 2, 3, even 4,000 calories a day is just astronomical. And so I wasn't eating like the super, I was still eating my pastas, breads, grains, and stuff like that that were able to get my calories high, or peanut butters of that nature, whole milk and whatnot. But I was constantly eating. And so I learned then, okay, cool, wow. Like, not only did it fuel me up, but I feel better and energy. And there's like basically a fuel where I was eating candy before practice. Now I'm eating like sandwiches, and I'm eating fruits, and I'm eating things that are going to give me long-term healthy energy. And from there, I just kind of took off with it, and I've always had an appreciation for food.
Yeah, I think to be so aware of kind of how you have to eat when you're younger is such a benefit. If there's any silver lining to kind of being sick when you were a kid, for sure. I know that a lot of kids that I end up, I don't work with many kids. I'll maybe work with somewhere between like 14 and 16-year olds every once in a while. I usually like if they are mature enough and they're as dedicated to their sport um, as possible, I'll definitely end up working with them. But it's it gets dicey sometimes, and it's not really
Yeah,
where I want to focus on certain things.
very.
But the I feel like I want to stay with because I've been trying to think of this for so long about any of these food collaborations. Like I created basically a whole cookbook that was had a recipe connected with each kind of character. So I hope you're okay because with talking about this right now, but thinking about how VFriends is really going to be partnering with anything food based
Mm,
has made me just kind of think of certain things. Like the only thing that I've kind of thought about was like, you have dynamic dinosaur that's going to be trying to hold some trees that look like broccoli, right? But
yep.
where else can we be in terms of nutrition for like where can that really come in? I did take some notes the other day. Where did I phone? But where
Um,
like how do you think VFriends can really help with like kids eating healthier?
yeah, I think that's kind of a big one. I feel like a few of us are trying to figure out, right? Whether it's you or Courage or myself, and just trying to figure out, okay, where is that angle of health and fitness through, I guess, these characters, and or which character can branch that gap. I know again the broccoli with the dynamic dinosaur seems relevant. I personally always like the versatile Viking just because he's big, he's strong. I'm Nordic and from Norway, so I kind of like the whole Viking thing, and I like the versatility of being able to do a little bit of anything and everything behind me in the gym, and not being reliant on specifically one thing. Like we all have our little niche, we all have our area of fitness that we may or may not enjoy. So for me, it's about being versatile and not getting pigeonholed into one sort of fitness, right? Like if I go out and I only swim, my
Yeah.
lungs, my lungs and heart might become super healthy. But you know what? The density in my bones is also going to become very, very, very less. So, like, I need to balance some of those things out. I mean, that's just one example, right? So, for me, having versatility and being able to go, like, well, I might want to go walk or jog and apply some pressure onto my bones is going to be beneficial for me. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, where is that? Where is that gap? That's a tough one.
So I thought of six. I was just looking back at my notes from the other day because I was on a walk and I was thinking about this. Uh, there were six characters that I looked at that I thought could be really helpful from like the nutrition and the training standpoint. That I thought were good, and the versatile Viking was definitely one of them. In fact, I texted you a question. You were like Viking for sure, and so I liked it, and I still am creating something around that. But when I was thinking about it, right, the idea of kind of what that being versatile was like that with different functions and activities that our body does and kind of like either how food can kind of get there, I thought was really great. And I also think that with Nordic culture, especially, with Vikings, I think there is a food element there that a lot of people like might think about or not. Now, it's not the best food a lot of times in terms of it being what looks palatable or not. But I think like fermented shark or anything else like that, I think can be really interesting for sure. And I think in the cookbook that I ended up making, it was a oh man, what was it? I wish maybe I'll try and navigate over there as I do this right now. But um, hold on, let me see if I can get there. But I thought that that was like a great one for sure. I'm gonna leave. I think the sixth one over here, but I can't talk right now. The dynamic dinosaur was definitely the other one because I thought variety, being dynamic, could definitely end up helping. But the other three that I thought about, leaving one for last year, but consistent cougar, accountable ant, and curious crane. Thought those three would be best in terms of like kids being one, I think consistent with maybe how they're really eating, whether it's, meals throughout the day or staying consistent with certain food items and, protein, fiber, all that kind of stuff there. Accountable, just making sure that I think more adults, but like being accountable. I
Yes.
think adults,
Yes.
your parents being accountable to certain things. I think
Yep.
this accountability thing is just huge. Like I didn't realize it until most recently. And I was like, yeah, what the hell am I doing? Why am I not focusing on accountability, like, as a character, more just for my own personal benefit here. But then Curious Crane, because I want people to stay so curious about these things and curious about yourself. Like, how does your belly feel? Like, that's all about remaining curious. And if you're not, I think it's a huge issue. So we always want to make sure that we can kind of hit on that. Where was this? And then the last one over here was the kind warrior, because I think that we have to be kind for ourselves, or to ourselves rather. And I think that if we're not kind to how we feel or how we treat our body, I think it can be a really big issue. So I always just want to make sure that we're always thinking about all of those there. And then I wanted to share this. I'll do this with you guys. Hold on. Where is this? Still
Let me
learning.
know if you can hear my munching. I don't want you to hear my munching over here.
Oh, it's perfectly fine. Do not worry. It's a me issue. It's not a you issue. Is this what I wanted to show? Well, it was. There you go. I want to see what I did for the Viking. And it was like a herring. I think it was a herring thing because I knew that it was going to be. Here we had a recipe. Can we show this bigger? What do we do? So for the we did this for the perfect Persian pineapple salmon rice bowl. I loved this one, by the way. The very, very lucky black cat blackened fish taco bowl. But that was good. But where's the Viking? Oh, here it is. The Versatile Viking smoked herring. It's like I remember making this one. I was like, it's got to be somewhat gross, right? It's got to be like something interesting that is totally going to. And just to make sure that we all know, this is an unofficial thing. This is not part of anything Friends. So it just says it up here, guys. So just please make sure if anyone's looking at that. But like, would you ever eat this by any chance?
I can't see it. I've got the list of all the other options that are up
Oh
on there.
no. Hold on, I'll get there. Stay there.
Did you say smoked herring? So
Can you see? Can you see this now?
No.
You still can't see it?
No, I got the list of probiotic foods or Meet Ted. There's a podcast.
Oh, you know why? Okay, hold on. So I wanted to show this to you. I'm all over the place right now with this. Where's the StreamYard?
Smoked fish is really good. I had pickled herring once in Fedda, Norway. It's like the southern tip of Norway, and it was the only thing I ever did not like. And I love food, and I had like lutefisk out there, which everybody else is like, ugh, you don't like lutefisk, but that looks delicious.
Wait, what is lutefisk? Hold on, I want to get. This isn't the one I wanted. I'll get over. Hold on.
Lutefisk is like a traditional dish of fish, and it's the best way to explain it is the consistency of it's like Jello.
Oh yeah, interesting.
Yeah, I mean, just the sound of it is kind of is usually how it kind of tastes, but it is. I see it now. This is beautiful.
All right, cool. Yeah. So, and again, I want to make sure you guys know this is unofficial. This is not. I did not do in partnership at all. I'm using these characters right now, but yeah, this is unofficial. So I don't want you guys to think that there's anything here that is in partnership. It is unofficial. But yeah, I definitely had fun making these. It was definitely a good time. This is just the first, I think, 30 characters here. I have the rest in other files. But this was, I thought, things, I really wanted to make sure that all of these were going to be things that the animal ate, that we weren't eating the animal. That was like my number one rule whenever I was trying to make these. I really liked this one for the very, very lucky black cat. That was definitely an interesting one.
Gato tacos? No gato tacos?
Well, I don't think it would have been great. I don't know how to cook cat, so I wouldn't want to do that. And then, so I don't know, just some really interesting ones. I thought this was the Versatile Viking. This is the reason why we opened this up. But this is the smoked herring, right? That I thought could be an interesting thing. I thought it was very much what a Viking might end up eating. And I
Yeah,
thought that it could be an easy thing to make. Everything I tried to put in here was going to be high iron, high potassium, high magnesium, and zinc, just for a growing kid's brain. And
delicious.
so all these things I thought would be really fun. So I did not want to put this out there, especially if people are going to be grossed out by it. But it's a fun dish. It's a fun dish. It's an interesting dish. It's
It's
like
a
a
great
challenging
dish.
dish.
I love dishes like this, especially for me, my wife, and the family, because if you look on it, it's highly protein based. And there's
Yeah,
still
yeah,
substance. They're still getting a lot of extra things other than the protein, but it's still, in terms of calories, protein based. And so you can add in, I think you even put it in the notes on down below, that you could have it with crackers, or you could serve it with whatever, lettuce wraps or something of that, rice or something like that, bread. Perfect. Oh my gosh, I could literally
yeah,
see a
totally.
Mike sitting there with some bread over a pot and just chomping down on that. Looks delicious.
Yeah, I think it could be really good. But a few more. This one was definitely fun too. This is an interesting one. The savory oats. This was actually I started doing this for dinner after a while. I thought it was
Ooh,
a really interesting one to do because it's like you're using. I did bone broth in here instead of vegetable broth,
yeah.
but it was definitely a good one to try. Here's the corso dish over here. Really simple one, but I thought it was going to be best for the admiral. Oh, this one I made. This one, I mean, like shakshuka altogether is good, but like this was awesome. I really enjoyed that. I had a lot of fun with it. The Nifty Narwhal one. This is just a simple
Bang.
one,
Super easy.
to
So
definitely do.
yeah.
Oh, this was a great one, by the way. I loved making this one. I really, you know what? I kind of put this in the back burner. I feel like I want to get back into it now. Make sure that maybe I can. You know why? Because I was in conversation with a few people over at Be Friends about maybe doing something with this, and I think I kind of lost some steam after a conversation I had. And so I should definitely get back into it. That'd be cool. These were definitely a fun dessert kind of thing to do. This is like an RX bar, just like rolled up, basically. That's all that was. But it was fun. Definitely a
Ryan,
fun thing. Oh my
here's
gosh, these were so fun too.
bro, here's what I
What's up?
really love about these. And I know that this is like an unofficial thing. Get back into that. Get back into these, because I'm looking at these, right? And you do such a good job not illustrating a story, right? Not only with these podcasts, but in your notes and your stuff and the things that you're writing, you're illustrating a story more than just a recipe, right? You're giving them options. You're getting creativity that's allowing people to succeed. So even at the worst case scenario, if you took off the character's name on the front of your list, you've got yourself a blueprint for your food is fuel cooking recipe or your cooking book. Like, get back on that thing. I encourage you wholeheartedly. Like, I'm looking at these things and I was almost going to be like, slow down. Like, I want to read these things because, hey, as somebody who enjoys cooking and is passionate about food, and seeing it from a different perspective, right? It's one thing for me to do something that I already know in my household. It's another thing now to take information from somebody who does this for a living and teaches other people for a living. Now that I get those recipes, I feel like I have that in my house. It's like almost like having you in my back pocket, bro. It's a phenomenal thing. But I encourage you, because
Thanks,
again,
Will.
it looked really, really, really good, especially
Yeah,
that
Will. You know what?
that
The what
lentil one.
one?
The lentil one, the yellow curry, had lentils, and it had
Oh, the
um,
befuddled burglar one. Yeah,
yeah,
this one
because
here.
yeah. See, I'm looking at something as beautiful as this, and all you need to do is add any type of meat to it, like whatever you
Oh
like.
yeah, totally.
You like chicken, awesome. Like, you like shrimp, boom. Like, that right there in itself is just a such a beautiful mixture of food. Like turmeric, how powerful that is for you. And you're just talking about bone broth, like beautiful. Some baby spinach, some nutritional yeast. Like, again, the nutrients and minerals and vitamins that you're getting out of these things like very, very powerful. In fact, I would say that a lot of these things are superfoods or have superfoods in them.
I think it was definitely one. You know what? I made this with my oldest daughter. This was really fun. It's so simple too, right? So like, but you blended it up and like, oh, the thing is what I wanted to say is that a lot of these recipes I definitely wanted to make, and I don't want to make this about me or these right now as much as I do want to say, you know, the best thing we can do, and I think what we're getting at is like the healthy eating. Like, let's let kids know how they feel, but get them in the kitchen, just like you were saying, Brian. And I think also, any of these kind of recipes, I really wanted to make sure that there were going to be things that you kind of do with your kids and get them excited. Like, even like this kind of stuff is just so simple. You maybe even heard about it, right? So like there's like, and like you can get to things that are definitely a little more difficult, but like you can definitely make sure that what you're doing is like allowing your kids to play. We did this one. Like, how simple is this? Like, if you are someone who doesn't like to cook, or can't, you feel like you can't cook, like there's simple things here that definitely end up working for you. I mean, this is more about the sauce than it is the steak, but like, give it to me every time. So it's always so good. We're going camping tomorrow. Probably do one of these for camping. That'd be fun too. Oh, this was a fun one to make too. These popsicles. But anyway, yeah, good stuff.
I love these. I love these. Again, you get the kid hands on with a lot of these. Very, very hands on. They're all ingredients that we should be able to have in our kitchen. The kids should be able to also know what those ingredients are. I know right now with my son, and just in terms of working on simple things like, hey, Dad, can I have that? Yes. Oh, okay, you gonna get it for me? No, you're 7 years old now. You can get up. You can start to get some of these things on your own. And so just almost forcing them to get hands-on will get them to be confident with food and to make mistakes with food. And honestly, isn't that, as parents, what we're searching for? Is we want our kids to make mistakes, but try to do it under our roof as long as possible until you go out in the real world. So you have a standard, or you have this basis, or you have this foundation of at least some sort of knowledge with you and food and how it makes you feel.
You know what I want? I think I want to reach out to VFriends, and I want to say, can we put one of these recipes in as an option for kids to order? I think I just, you know what? If I don't do that, I'll be upset. Like, even something as easy as this, can we just make something a little bit more elevated for these kids to try? Like, try some different, flavors, like put some cumin over here on top of these like fruits. Like, how great would it be to like expand these kids' palates? Like, that would be so amazing to do. Even like, that might be kind of crazy, but like, there's got to be, like, I would totally say, like, can we do something with dates, like help kids?
Yes.
Or like, can we do some alien eggs? Like, if we did some adaptable alien eggs, I don't know if they're going to travel as well, but like these kind of things, are like, even this, like the forever feed, like, how great would this be? Come on. Why don't we need to do this. We need to get this going.
I think you should. I think you should reach out to them. I mean, everything looks so good. Like, even Ron Jordan's talking about peanut butter stuffed dates, dude. Like, that's what I was looking at. In fact, I was thinking, how much fun would that be to cook with your kids? Hey, we're gonna take these dates. We're gonna stick a couple almonds or peanut butter inside of it, and let's wrap it up in bacon. And like, let's have some bacon wrapped dates. And then, better yet, let's go ahead and take some sweet potatoes, slice them up, and put maybe some coconut oil and a little bit of salt on it, and bake those. So now you have a sweet potato chip, and then you're putting that on top of it. Oh my gosh, get out of here. Sweet potato chip with bacon wrapped date.
All about that. Dude, great idea.
And kids will have fun with it, right? Getting them comfortable cooking, and not only cooking, but cutting. Learning how to cut.
Oh,
I know that seems super basic for us, but like my 7-year-old, like, hey, let's learn how to cut things or open things, and make mistakes. It seems simple enough, but in the long run, the hands-on experience, I think, is extremely important, especially if we live in the city, me included. Like, we're not living on a farm. We're not learning how these foods are produced. We're not seeing it firsthand experience. We go to the grocery store, we see a piece of meat, we go, okay, well, that looks good.
For sure, man. The cutting thing, like, there are kids' knives that are really awesome. Great point. That, first of all, the best gifts that I've ever received as an adult have been knives from my friends and family members. So if anyone's looking to kind of get knives out to people, but there's also a really great one for hold on. We're getting our steps challenge people together. Wait, are you doing steps challenge with us or no?
Well, I wasn't going to say anything. I wasn't going to say anything publicly because I felt No, I thought you automatically threw me into that one. When you mentioned, you're like, oh, Brofit's in it. So I just assumed you automatically put me in. But Blaze already made the teams and they're even. So don't worry about it.
They
It's
might
really
not
not.
be even. I think we might need because I just pulled Chelsea on our team, so you might need to come in. We'll let you know. I'll text you.
Sounds good. You let me know.
If you want to do it.
I don't know how. I don't know how I'm going to track that, but you know me, I'll be moving around.
Dude, I just hold my phone. I don't like wearables because I overthink it when I start seeing everything, but I will just hold my phone and it ends up working for me. But whatever can be there. All right, so food dominated our conversation today. We got our super sticker. Only got one. I was supposed to get two. What's going on, guys? Help me out. It's okay. I don't need two, but I got dialed in dog. We'll give that to my kid. I think they'll love it. They'll put it on their water bottle. We've been doing a lot of water bottle stickers lately. That's been
File
fun.
a complaint, B. Miller says. I agree. I agree.
I don't. We could. I just don't know if it's going to be worth at this point. The guy I actually put in the wrong address to deliver it to over here, so I felt bad. I had to go chase the guy down.
If it makes you feel better, I took a big L yesterday. On Mojo's Fanatics live stream, I won the opportunity to win one of those Series 1 cards based off of the 49ers and Jets game. In fact, when it popped up, my name, the 101 was right behind it. And so I was thinking in my head, holy shit, I'm part of this 101. Like, I hit this. This is crazy. And then Biceps gave me my reality check and was like, no, it's actually the very rare, like, magpie. And I was like, oh, okay. That's cool. So I had to have the Jets win yesterday, and they got slaughtered. So if it
Yeah.
makes you feel any better, where we both thought we might get something, we fell just short, and we move on and we grow from those experiences.
Yeah, no, the Jets. I mean, I fell asleep after I realized they weren't going to win that game last night. So I'm sorry you didn't. I'm sorry you didn't win. I'm sorry
That's
you didn't
okay.
win.
Lex won, so I feel like Arizona won. Biceps' girlfriend, Lex. So she ended up
Oh,
winning, I
nice.
think, befuddled burglar.
Oh, beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
All right, you're on Team Green.
Team G, yes. If it
Team
was
Green.
gray, good. I only have a green shirt. I don't believe in that gray stuff.
Oh no, not good. Yeah, you're Team Green. Blaze is excited to have you, so
Sweet.
you're good to go. All right. Let's come back. I like the discussion around, what are we defining as healthy? Because I like these questions. I think I've been putting out these what could easily feel like some sort of, I think what's the term for trying to get comments? Sourcing sourcing comments, farming, whatever it is, comment farming, whatever's going on. I know I'm putting questions out there, and I'm not trying to do it to like grow my account. I'm trying to do it to see if we can ask questions that get people really curious about certain things. And so, whether it's, what's healthy, or someone says something without preservatives. Well, what do you mean? What preservatives are you worried about? Is it salt? Is it sugar? Is it vinegar? Or is it something else that you are really that afraid of? Or someone else was saying, well, it's inflammation, anything that gives you inflammation. And I was like, well, inflammation is great, right? Inflammation after a workout is almost necessary. Inflammation while you're sick is completely necessary to make you better. So what are you saying? So I know that these questions might seem strange, but I want to keep bringing them back in over here. So, if you have any of those questions, ask them so that we can kind of bring them in. It'd be great.
Man, I'm shaking my head here because I'm like, no, because I'm sitting here as a trainer and thinking about Mr. and Mrs. Jones coming up to me and saying a lot of these things that you're talking about. And I'm like, no, stop. It's not the preservative in the food right now that's fucking up your life right now. Like, whatever your goal is, it's not the one preservative that's hindering you, right? Or, ooh, there's too much salt in that. Like, cool. Like, is your sodium level, are you literally just downing salt? Like, why is that the extreme, right? And I think that people are looking for that magic pill. Like, what's the magic pill? They want the answer, but they don't want the answer, right? They want somebody to do it for them. And I think you really brought up a big light. We're talking about some of these characters again. And one that really fits in and it hit home, and Gary brought light up into it, is accountability. Accountability, even for us who know how to do it, the accountability is the most important part, right? Like, why do we try to find our cliques, our groups, our people, our niches. Like for wrong, right, or indifferent, they probably hold us accountable. And if they aren't, then they're not probably the best group for us, right? So accountability to me is really the big one. Yeah, people try to pick so many. I say people in general, and myself included, right? Is we pick different battles for what we think is the answer, and I think honestly, consistency, those things that you're already talking about, consistency, accountability, those are going to be very, very important. I ended up bringing out a piece of paper because as you're talking about, thank you for posting those up. Thank you. As you're talking about, somebody's saying, "Oh, there's not enough. There's this in my food. Is that good for me, or this is that good for me?" I always break it down in terms of what's healthy is making sure I have all three things in my body every time I eat. I have some sort of protein, carb, and fat.
Oh, right? Hold on. I was trying to get you. Oh, yeah. I see it. Awesome.
Yeah, here you go. Protein. My handwriting is beautiful right now. You'd have some sort of carb and fat. And here's why I think this is important, is I think if people have an understanding of just this and can do this 80% of the time, they'll be able to have more attention onto some of those smaller things. But the big section, in my point of view, is doing this constantly, having control over this. So even if I do go to the ballpark and I have some sort of cotton candy, I need to know what that cotton candy is, what it's doing to my body, and how I can balance it out so it doesn't have as much destruction. Right. So,
yeah.
So to me, that's kind of a big thing. Or if I'm thinking of my kids, I like to pull this out. In fact, I've done this plenty of times where I've pulled this out for my kids and I'll put this as their plate. And we'll say, hey, you need to have a little bit of protein, a little bit of a healthy fat, and a little bit of a carb. Now, which would you like to do? And you're kind of already putting up some of these pictures, which gives a much, much better picture or visualization than the one I'm putting up. But it gets
it's great.
It gets kids and ourselves to have a better understanding of, okay, well, I need protein in my meals because it's going to put on muscle mass. It's going to help me retain the muscle that I have, right? I need carbohydrates because it's going to give me energy throughout the day. And I need my fats because it's going to be for brain functioning or for whether it's going to be flavor my foods or keep me full, right? We could talk about, again, brain functioning or any of that other stuff with our testosterone or whatnot. But it's proteins, carbs, and fats. If we have, I think, a balance of that, then we can start really getting into that nitty-gritty. And I think you're really good at getting into that nitty-gritty, right? Like I always hear you talking about protein is one, but the other one I always hear you talking about, which is a phenomenal one, and I'm skipping a name on it right now. Oh my goodness.
Fiber?
Fiber, thank you. Yeah. Dietary fibers.
Always.
Because
if we can
out and for people to understand, hey, that kind of cancels certain things out. It's really not that bad for you. It's really a good thing for you. It's just, again, sorry, go ahead. I'll let you get into it because I'm rambling now.
Oh, no, because I think we could definitely save that for another time. But no, I love the plate mile. This is another thing that I end up sending adults, and I'm like, just let you know, like this is what I teach kids. Like this is something I would have showed my athletes when I was down at NYU as their sports dietitian for their sports programs. I mean, not this plate because this isn't appropriate for most of my athletes because they should be eating higher carb. But like especially when I was working with all of the athletes in college, I was just an Italian grandmother. That's all I was. I was just like, can you just please eat right now? Yeah. And so like that's all we were saying. But like the hardest thing for most people, I think, and this is kind of about like, the curious crane aspect of things, sometimes like what proteins are, or they don't even really know what starches are. And like any starch is bad, right? And they don't really understand actually what the benefit of these certain things are. And I get it because a lot of times they've been taught that they are so dangerous. And so they'll stay away from them. We get these all or nothing people. And like, I'll tell you, I work with some of the movers and shakers here in the city all the time. And I love my people, but they are a lot of people that are all or nothing. And so it's like, well, if I do that, then I'm just going to mess everything up. And all of a sudden I get a lot of binge eaters. So a lot of people that really jump into this stuff and really don't understand, I think, the aspect of how this can all really work out, those are
Mhm.
the people that become so overly restricted. And then those are the people that keep kind of yo-yoing all the time. And then they don't know how that, like how they define themselves as eaters. And really
Mhm.
then they're just someone who's counting calories and counting macros. And we got to fix the inside, right? We got to fix that person on the inside before we start to get anything on the outside going for most individuals. But yeah, I always love these plate models. I think that they're always a really great way just to kind of teach something. And it's not going to work for everyone. Like, look, I like already broken. Like, here's some. Well, here, I guess that's not so much. But like, a kid eats a burger. Like, what's going on? I don't like. We eat out of boxes, not on plates, right? They're already kind of confused here. But to be honest, it's like if you want to take a plate and all of a sudden it's like, well, you know what? This burger, if that's going to be your protein, and then we're going to like, here's your protein. And then there's your carb, but that's 50-50. How are we going to make sure we get a whole nother side of vegetable over here, right? So maybe it is going to be two sides of vegetables for kids. But yeah, as long as we can keep kids curious, and I think we can keep kids thinking dynamically, we can keep kids like knowing that like the more versatile they are with their bodies and then with their nutrition, it's going to help them that much more. So I only hope, and it's my wish, and it's going to tickle me pink, the more that we can actually attach some of these characters to training and I think nutrition as best as we really can. And I hope, I was thinking this could be it. I'm hoping it can be it. Not so much HealthDads, but like with the Bellies partnership. I don't know if it's going to be there. I think it's an opportunity though that we need to make sure that we're trying to hit on. So that's my wish.
Well, I'm going to add on to what you're trying to accomplish here. I know that you're going to use the characters with food to reach out to the community, and I would like to add on to that if possible, because I sit here going, well, how do we get fitness now? Again, we're talking food, we're talking fitness, and getting everybody involved. So maybe we need to start
100%.
having some sort of character workout. So like a versatile Viking workout, or the very, very lucky black cat workout, or the dynamic dinosaur workout, something of that nature, so people can have kind of like CrossFit, how they have the ladies, standards for workouts. We
Sure.
can
Yeah.
have our befriend ladies CrossFit workouts of the patient pig workout or something of that sense.
Yeah, yeah. No, I would love to like pair those things up, and to the point of making it fun. Like how is it? I don't know if it's like moving like a pig. I don't know what it would be, but yeah, I think it would be so amazing to kind of like have that, and then figure out how to do it. But I'm gonna jump. I have a client. Who am I talking to?
Likewise.
Need to see what's going on over here. Okay, I'm good. I'm good. All right, I'm gonna jump. Reveal on our super sticker. Well, super sticker. Is it a super sticker? Mini
No.
sticker. They're called mini stickers. Mini stickers. We got Dialed and Dog. I only got one. I should have got two. So, Wonder, I'm coming at you. All right. All right, guys. Well, love you. And we will definitely see you soon. And as we jump out, let's make sure we got some health dads. We love you. We'll see you soon. Be well, guys. Take care.